Hello guys, welcome back to another English class. Today I'm going to explain you the activities from the unit 3 in your book number 4. Now, the unit is called Moving Out of the City. Objectives: asking questions about something that occurred or didn't occur before another action in the past. Now, we have in this case exercise 3.1. Read the following page from a diary. Now we have in this case a diary, and next to we have some sentences, 5 sentences, and the idea is we have to decide if they are true or false according with the information that you have in the diary. Okay, now I'm gonna read it. It says, "Dear Diary, I have never thought this could happen. My dad got a promotion at his job, but we will have to move out of the city. I don't want to go. All my friends are here, and I have been here, and I'm so sad now with the news. Yesterday evening, we were having dinner together, and Dad gave us the news. We are going to move to South Dakota, to a farm. We have never lived in one before. My dad had told me my dad was going to look for a promotion, but they never mentioned we would have to move. I don't want to tell my friends about it. We'll miss each other. I don't want to have new friends. These girls are my friends, and I want to be here. I don't want to move. Too sad." Okay, now we have the information from the diary, and next to we have the sentences. Now the first sentence, it says, "The girl isn't happy with the news." True. Number 2, her father didn't get a promotion. In this case, it's false because he got the promotion. Number 3, they will move to a forest. In this case, it's false because they are going to move to a farm. Number 4, they hadn't lived in a farm before. In this case, it's true. And 5, she wants to have new friends. In this case, it's false because she doesn't want to have new friends. Okay, now don't forget that we are checking the question form into question form. For example, we have, had the US had a black president before Obama? No, the US hadn't had a black president before him. Number 2, had you studied another major before this one? Yes, I studied law, but I didn't like it. Had Maggie ever played softball? Because she's good. She played when she was really young. Had you ever studied in another private school before? Yes, I studied in a private elementary school. And in the Hunger Games, who had been selected before Kat? They had selected her little sister, but she volunteered. Okay, don't forget that it's past perfect into question form. Now, in the next exercise, exercise 3.3, we have match the columns and write on the lines the letter that corresponds to the correct answer. Now in this case we have 7 sentences, 7 questions, and next to we have their correct answers. For example, 1. Have they been happy living in the city? C. Yes, they have been happy until they had to move. 2. Why had her father been looking for a promotion? E. Because he wanted to have a better life. 3. Had they ever lived in a farm? No, they hadn't. They are very nervous about moving. 4. Had they moved to another city before? B. No, it is their first time even going to a farm. 5. What had the family thought about the promotion? A. They are happy, but they don't want to move. 6. Had he ever looked for a promotion? G. No, and he never thought he would get it. And number 7. Has she told her friends she was going to move? F. No, she couldn't tell her friends. Okay, we have finished the exercise 3.3. Now, in your workbook, we have, for example, exercise 3.1 that it says unscramble the following sentences. Now in this case we have to write the words again, but in order because they are in this order, and you have to make maybe questions in past perfect, maybe negative sentences or positive sentences. For example, the first one it says, had you thought you were going to study college? Number 2, I hadn't waited so long, but he called to tell me he was late. Have you ever visited Disney World before? Michael had played golf professionally before 1997. 5. Had the Anthropology Museum had an Egyptian exposition before? And Danny hadn't been in a hospital. That's why he was scared. Okay, now you have to do and you have to complete exercise 6, 8, 9, and 10 by yourself. Okay, now we continue with exercise 3.2 and 3.4. Now the first one it says, complete the following sentences. Now in this case we have 5 sentences and all of these sentences are in negative form. We have to add in all of them the auxiliary hadn't and the verb into past participle. For example, he couldn't go into the piano concert because he hadn't bought the tickets. Number 2, she said that she hadn't visited Hawaii before. 3, Nick and Anne hadn't met before the party. And number 4 and number 5 by yourself. Okay, now what about 3.4? In exercise 3.4 it says read situations and write the sentences with the words in a parenthesis. Now we have 5 sentences and we have to complete with the words that you have in the box or in brackets in this case. For example, so it is your first time at the Louvre Museum? Yes, I hadn't been here before. Number 2, I invited Sophia to a party, but she couldn't come. She had promised to help her mom. And number 3, you arrived very late to the theater, didn't you? Yes, the film had already begun. Okay, and you have to complete 4 and 5 by yourself. Don't forget that you have to change the verb into past participle. And the last exercise, exercise 3.7, we have complete sentences with the verbs from the box. We have in this case different verbs. In the box we have, for example, build, be, do, make, put on, order, learn, fall, fun, and write. The idea is you have to complete the 10 sentences that you have next to, and you have to use obviously past perfect, maybe in question form, negative or positive sentence. For example, the first one it says, had he found Rita before he went to see her in the hospital? Number 2, he hadn't been to Michigan before 1985. Number 3, I could not remember the song we had learned 3 weeks ago, 3 weeks before. 4, my brother ate all the pasta that our sister had made. Number 5, she had not ridden a bike before that day. And 6, the children collected all the apples that had fallen from the tree. Okay, and you have to complete with the missing verbs, build, order, do, and put on the following sentences. And that's all, guys, from the activities from your book. Thank you.